Back in 2024, Chennedy Carter blindsided Caitlin Clark with a hit so dirty, the WNBA had to decide whether they wanted her in the league or not. Chicago cut her. Nobody in the WNBA wanted her in 2025, so she was playing in Mexico and China just to stay on the court. Then she did an apology tour on a podcast, got a shot with the Las Vegas Aces, and everyone wondered if she'd earned it. Well, she got her answer when the Indiana Fever faced the Las Vegas Aces on July 5th. Before we break down how Sophie destroyed Carter, let's recall her history with Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever.
Carter and Clark. I mean, that's clearly a foul, which was called. The question is, will they call it unnecessary? Chennedy Carter, I think that's going to be a flagrant one. And
June of 2024, Chicago Sky versus Indiana Fever. The ball is out of bounds, the play is over, and Caitlin Clark isn't even looking in Chennedy Carter's direction. That's the part that gets people. Carter squares up, plants her feet, and drives her hips straight into Clark, knocking her to the floor for no basketball reason at all. No steal to make, no rebound to fight for, nothing. Just a grown woman deciding to put another player on the ground because she felt like it. The refs watched it happen live and called it a common foul. A common foul. The same call you'd get for a bump under the basket during a scramble for position. It took a review, a wave of backlash, and probably a few phone calls from the league office before the WNBA upgraded it to a flagrant one. Clark got up and brushed it off, saying basketball's competitive and emotions get the best of people sometimes. Carter, on the other hand, stood in front of reporters after the game and refused to answer a single question about Clark. Just shut it down completely.
And then Chennedy just give you an opportunity to talk about that moment between you and Caitlin. What was that play, what was said, and kind of what led to.
Next question.
Yeah, like Kate, it seemed like she turned to you a little bit.
Yeah.
After
I ain't answering no Caitlin Clark questions.
Did she say anything to you?
I don't know what she said.
What'd you say to her?
I didn't say anything.
That's enough. We're good.
She's good.
Chicago didn't wait around after that. Carter was averaging 17.5 points a game back then, and the Sky let her walk anyway without even offering another contract. That's not a business decision about numbers. That's an organization deciding the disruption wasn't worth the buckets. League sources at the time made it clear the locker room environment had been bending around Carter's behavior for a while, and this was where it finally caught up to her. One anonymous executive summed up her market value in a single word: radioactive. And that word explains everything about what happened next, because radioactive doesn't mean disliked, it means nobody wants to be anywhere near you when the cameras are rolling. Every one of the other 11 WNBA teams looked at Carter's tape, looked at her production, and passed. All of them. Silence across the entire league.
Seriously, she needs to do whatever she can to get some help, get her anger under control, where she will not have another incident like the one where she slammed into Caitlin Clark, but she's out of the league.
So in 2025, Carter ends up grinding it out overseas just to keep playing basketball at all. First stop was Mexico, suiting up for Adelitas de Chihuahua, then over to China to play for Wuhan Shengfeng. And she actually balled out over there, averaging 31.4 points a game and winning the Chinese League MVP. Numbers like that would make her a top scorer in the WNBA too. But it didn't matter because the league had already made its decision about her before she scored a single point overseas. Then comes the podcast tour. Carter sits down with streamer Neon and finally addresses the hip check, except this time she calls it a little "I'm here" energy tap and brings up getting elbowed first, a detail that never once came up right after the game happened. She compares it to Jeff Teague shoving LeBron James, like physicality in the NBA is the same as blindsiding someone off an unrelated ball. And then she says flat out that she loves the hate. Not exactly the tone of someone trying to make things right, and definitely not the same woman who wouldn't answer a single Clark question when it actually mattered.
So I'm just like, it's like one of those things, like, it happens in basketball. I know people try to say, oh, it's not one of those things.
It's not a personal thing, it's a competitive thing.
It happens in basketball, and like it's just one of those things. But like, yeah, it's kind of what kind of what happened. Then it spiraled out of control.
And then the media takes whatever narrative they want to put out.
Watch every game, every single game, to see if you can find any deflects in my game, and like, it's really nothing that you probably could say too much about. So then you have trolls, and that's why I said they're gonna be around regardless. But yeah, it was just like a nice little like tap, like I'm here, not to like harm you or anything. You know, if you want to push somebody, you're gonna like full force.
And somehow, despite all of it, the Las Vegas Aces decided to gamble on her for the 2026 season. A team chasing another championship, needing scoring punch off their bench, looked past every red flag and signed her anyway. Which means Carter's redemption game, the one supposed to prove she'd changed, landed against the exact team and the exact player she blindsided 2 years earlier. In the way close games always are. Neither team built a lead bigger than 6 points the entire half, and Vegas actually clawed back into it late, ripping off a 7-0 run in the final minutes of the second quarter that erased what Indiana had built. Kelsey Mitchell had 12 at the break, Jewel Lloyd matched her with 12 of her own for the Aces, and it took a...
Hey, Coach, what was your assessment of the second half? I feel like it was pretty active, good showing in the first, or would you point to unforced turnovers or offensive rebound battle there? What did you see in the second half?
Boards definitely hurt us, but I thought we, quite frankly, ran out of gas. But we looked tired. Couldn't muster up enough energy to sprint into screens offensively. But the O boards definitely hurt us in the third quarter. Gets to be a compounding effect when you're not getting stops or they're getting second, third, fourth opportunities. It's just super deflating.
We saw you guys pregame, Sophie, and pretty much everywhere you guys go, right? Fever Nation is supporting you, and you guys are giving it back. What's it like to have this kind of environment everywhere you're going, even when you're away from home?
Man, I know a lot of teams say that every game is a home game. Sorry, I was just saying if we got that charge call or not. We didn't. But I really do believe that. I think Fever, we have the best fans in the W. Worldwide, I really think. Wherever we go, it's a home game for us. And so we just try to put on, work hard, play hard, and, you know, we just got to work on our consistency. They show out for us, and we need to show out for them.
Here's the symmetry that makes this whole thing land so hard. Cunningham became Clark's enforcer the moment the league started letting other teams take cheap shots at her. And now she's the one shutting down the exact player who blindsided Clark 2 years ago. That's not a coincidence anybody needs to explain to you. Both of these two are in the middle of the sixth player. Indiana just gave you the answer, and it wasn't pretty for Vegas.
They're playing their fourth game in 8 days.
Cheyenne Parker-Tyus only played 7 minutes in that first half. She's back on the floor, and Boston with her first triple.
Boston trying to go to work. Spins away from the double and gets a couple of bounces to go.
Leah Boston went for 18 points and 10 rebounds, shooting 7 for 13 from the field.
That'll be a blast. There has been a Connecticut player on the roster of 21 of the 29 WNBA champions. Snakes in behind it. Smith on the drive, blocked by Boston initially.
Kelsey Mitchell closed the night with 27 points, her third straight game scoring 25 or more, and she did it.
Mitchell off the screen to that left hand. Got a fingertip in there. Loose ball, and Monique with the hustle play will get Mitchell a clean look, and she'll knock down the triple. Harris will push 3-on-2. Billings leaves it for Mitchell. Good trail triple for Indy.
Lexi Hull put up 10 points on 5 for 10 shooting, and both of her biggest shots landed right on the buzzer. The first one came at the end of the first half, a 14-foot floater that banged.
Fever dub!
First dub on the road.
Remember the Alyssa Thomas incident from last season? And the way that whole situation seemed to leave Indiana on its heels. This version of the Fever doesn't play like a team worried about getting pushed around anymore. This wasn't one hot shooting night from one player. This was a full roster, from the starters to the end of the bench, proving they can win a real game on the road without leaning on any one name. Indiana sits at the 6th seed now, 3 games clear in the standings, and final score 84-68. Indiana by 16, on the road, without Clark. And it's Indiana's first regular season win in Las Vegas ever after 11 straight losses there. Carter finished with 0 points on the exact stage built for her comeback. Now Clark walks back into a locker room next game. Boston, Mitchell, Hull, Cunningham, they already showed the league what happens without her. Add Clark back in, and every other roster should be nervous. Let's show Sophie some love for destroying Carter down in the comments below. And don't forget